Hi everyone, welcome to my day. Yes, it's the day after my birthday, and looking back at yesterday, it was a fantastic day. Today has been a big change because for the first time in probably about, I would say probably about 3, maybe 4 years, I've got a complete day of doing a single task, and that is editing, followed by more video editing, and then a bit more video editing, and then probably to finish off the day I will probably do some video editing. Now I have to be very careful when I set myself a project like this because I enjoy the recording process and obviously the creative process, and then when I edit a video I class that as creative as well, because I like to make sure that the video is both engaging, has good content in it, good transitions, good audio. So I still class that as being very creative. When I have a day where the whole day is doing the same thing, so for example, if I do a recording day, I would normally only record for maybe 3 hours. I wouldn't record the whole day through, because at the latter part of the day I would be sort of less than enthusiastic, put it that way. So when I'm editing all day and I'm doing this for a client project, I have to make sure that my creativity is sustained throughout the whole day. And I want to let you into a little bit of an insight into how I make sure that happens. So we're coming up to, let me just look at the time, we're coming up to 11 AM in the morning, and I've been working a little bit on Geekanoids for the first hour of the day. Then I did a school run, and then round about 8:30 I started on the editing project. So I'm 2.5 hours into editing already. And to make sure that I don't lose my creativity throughout the day, I just make sure that I take regular breaks. Now this isn't distractions by switching backwards and forwards between emails and social networking, etc, etc. I've talked to you about that in a previous video. I want to focus on the task at hand to make sure that those distractions don't make me lose sight of my goal at the end of the day. But what I make sure that I do, I almost said do then, which makes a lot of people laugh. I'll try it. So what I do is I take a break every hour, and I normally treat that break as a few different things. I normally treat it as a tea break. So I would grab a cup of tea, maybe a piece of fruit, and make sure that I have a walk around for 5 or 10 minutes. Or I would actually go outside, make sure I get some fresh air. Or I would make a phone call, maybe just to check how my mum is, for example, and just to give me that actual physical and mental break from sitting in front of the screen and working on the project. And then when I return to the editing, I've got a fresh perspective. I know where I'm up to, because obviously I've left the editing program which I use, which is Final Cut Pro 10, at that particular point. So I know exactly where I've got to continue from. But I've got that fresh outlook again, and then I can continue completing the project with the same vigour as when I first started it. So that's what I make sure I do on these longer projects. It helps me a great deal, and I thought that little insight might help you as well. So it's now early evening, actually just eaten dinner, and I wanted to update you on what I've been doing for the rest of today, and then also, for a little bit of a change, I just wanted to read through some of the comments I received on the videos lately and address any questions as well, because I really do want to thank you for all of the comments. But first of all, let's just cover off what I got up to for this afternoon. Now, a lot of you will know that I just recently released an update to my book that's called My Mac is a Drug. Well, over the past 2.5 months, I've also been working on a second book. Now, at this stage, I cannot divulge what the book's about, but I would like to say that it's a very interesting subject matter to me, and I hope that when I share it with you, you'll find it equally as interesting. And it's come along very well. I had some very good writing sessions over the past few days. I've actually been using Nuance Dragon Dictate, or at least I think that's what it's called. Let me just double check. Yeah, Nuance Dragon Dictate for Mac. And for the most part, it's been working extremely well. I have been typing some sections of the book, but when I want to have a rest from actually typing, I've been dictating sections and then going back through them and editing them accordingly. It probably works out about the same time-wise to get a section complete, but it's worked very well and it's saved me having to type quite so much. So I will share details of the new book as soon as I can. I'm not sure when I'm going to complete it yet. It's quite an in-depth book, so it's going to take a lot of tweaking just to finish it off so that I can make sure I'm happy with it before I share it with everyone else. So anyway, I've released a lot of videos recently, as you know, and I just wanted to share some of the viewers' comments. Now, I'm not going to be able to share them all, so if your comment isn't mentioned, then please be aware that I'm appreciative to everyone who views and comments on the videos. If I miss your comment, it's not intentional. So anyway, the first comment I've got here was left on my Is Self-Employment Right For You video, and Joseph Choi says, wow, amazing video and advice. Thanks, Dave. Well, thank you very much, Joseph. I really do appreciate that. I was just discussing in that video some of the trials and tribulations that you have to really think about if you're considering working for yourself. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Another comment here from Darren Gator, who starts his comment saying, I have to start out with awesome book, Dave. Does that mean you bought it? It must mean that you've actually bought My Mac is a Drug. Brilliant. Very engaging. Left a review on Amazon as well. Thank you very, very much, Darren. I really do appreciate it. BTech Reviews, Ben, if I remember your name correctly, says, hi Geekanoids, I'm now supporting you on Patreon. Thank you very much, Ben. I really do appreciate that as well. KWhale66 in my birthday video, which was the other day, says, nice gifts. I especially like the vinyl coasters. Thank you very much. I'm actually using one of them already. That was a gift from my son. Brilliant, brilliant comment. Paul Reynolds agrees with me that it was a great episode of EastEnders. Nobody's helped me out with what happened to Lucy exactly, but hopefully when I read through some more of the comments, there will be some indication as to what happened. Somebody's got to tell me what happened. I had to pause the video there because somebody knocked on the door. So here we go, back to some more of the comments. Super Technoboff, who happens to be the person who actually is behind the Geekanoids application, working on an update. Believe me, we are working on an update. And he says, I agree with you, Dave. Self-employment is great, but you have to put in a lot of work. Very, very true. And in many cases, it's much harder than just getting a job, but the rewards are great. That is very, very well said. I certainly do agree with you 100% with what you said there. Vadu Videos, on the same video about self-employment, very valid point to bring up. I'm in education at the moment, hopefully going to uni this year to do a history degree. I realise that history degrees are limited in certain aspects, but teaching is a possibility. He goes on to say, in today's world, however, what with teaching strikes, etc., which is very true, we do get a lot of those, other professions or even self-employment are very sensible options. Besides, you need an enjoyable life and not one that drags you out of bed, like you said. And then Martin Fluke, who I also know is also self-employed, says very good advice and totally agree. I'd imagine, though, that someone may be self-employed in the construction trades, maybe not as passionate as, say, someone like yourself. I mean plumbing, etc. I guess their motivation comes from making lots of money and charging a fortune for call-outs. That's such a funny comment. I'll tell you why that's a funny comment, Martin, if you're watching this video, and obviously for everyone else. My brother's a plumber, and actually plumbers and those trades certainly have been tarred with the sort of same view, which is they do charge a lot for call-outs. And my brother actually, not promoting him or anything, I'm not even going to say his company name, but my brother, when he started out being a plumber, really prided himself, and still does to this day, in charging fair prices. So I guess that some of those people in that trade spoil it for everyone else by charging extortionate prices. But I do think that not everyone is the same, but a funny comment nonetheless. Amazing Hadouken, I love that name, says, I know education is not for everyone, but everything can happen, and having a backup plan is better than not having it. In that case, education is your backup plan. That's just my opinion. To be successful, you not only need an education in a certain field, but something on your mind, in your head or whatever. Like Dave said, passion and determination. Great video as always. That is a brilliant, brilliant comment. So I'm not going to read any more because there are just sort of hundreds to go through that came in today. But again, I want to thank you for just taking part in the community section and the comment section of the Geekanoids channel. I just love reading through the comments. I really do. I'm tempted to read some more, but I will let you read them for yourselves. And maybe I'll read some more out in a future video as well. So the time now is 6 PM. As I said a little while ago, I've already eaten. I'm going to go back to writing another section of the book because I'm really in the writing mood at the moment. So I'm going to do probably about another hour of writing before I then start relaxing for the rest of the evening. I hope you've all had a fantastic day. The weather's looking good here in the southeast of Kent. I hope wherever you are, it's brilliant as well. I sounded like a weather presenter then. I must stop that. But anyway, have a fantastic day and a fantastic evening wherever you are in the world. Hit that like button, leave me some comments. I'll see you all again tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you'd like to watch another amazing video from me, please do click that top box. And if you want to subscribe to my geeky channel, click the red box on the bottom of your screen now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.